Hello everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you're all doing well on this 1st of January 2023. I'm making you this video today to present to you the financial report of 2022 for ulemu.com, a community-based organization operating on Chisi Island, Zomba, Malawi. I want to take note of the date. It is the 1st of January 2023, and I am presenting to you all of our accounts for the year that has just concluded yesterday. Presenting them despite having a big old party last night to ring in the new year here with my family at home. But I'm presenting them today because that is the way we operate in ulemu.com. It is total financial transparency, down to the last kwacha or cent. Indi muchichewa onse mu chizungu. Ti fotokoza maandalama onse kuti tina landira indi kuti tina patsa muchaka 2022. Sorry, for our English listeners, that's just to explain, English-speaking listeners, just to explain that this is also a bilingual presentation of our financial accounts. Because that's what total transparency means. It means that the information that is given to the donors is the same as the information that is received by the beneficiaries of the money that is donated on Chisi Island. Mac Mwina mungate kutandiza pangono ndipo ma subtitle kuti tizalemba mu video liti ndibweraso. Okay, I'm going to start, and you'll excuse me if this is maybe a little bit, I don't know. You know, this isn't a polished annual financial report just yet, because there are listings in here of things, money we've received and money we've spent just in the last couple of days, as well as it being a really, really good party here with my family last night. So I'm you'll excuse me if it's a little bit disjointed, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through just the main cost categories of what we spent your money on, and a bit more information about it. But it's really to invite you to explore at your ease every little bit of detail of what's in what your money has been spent on is in here, and it's laid out, and this will also be part of the post that I'm going to put out. So that's it, just to make a point on that. I'm speaking to you actually, and I think the people on Chisi Island will be particularly curious about this, because they've often asked me about my house and where I live and what's Ireland like. So this room where I'm talking to you from, I'll explain it to you. Ndili tsopano mu nyumba anga, nyumba ya mbanja anga ku Ireland. Ndili tsopano mu room kuti indina ogono liti indili ana liti ya zaga limodzi chaka limodzi mpaka zaga 10 kapena 11. Indi topano sali nyumba anga, sali bedroom anga. Kapena indina ogono pa doti pano sabata ichi ku Christmas ichi fukwa mbanja onse, antu onse ya mbanja na buraso ku Christmas. Indi nafunika ku ogono pa doti pano. Kapena liti indinali ongono bedanga nali pano. Sofano ali ya office ya atate anga indi amai anga. Indi topano ali mabuku onse ya atate anga indi amai anga pano. Kapena liti indinali ongono indinali mabuku anga pano indi ma box ku Lego indi ma chidule onse pano. Indi funa kufota koza kuti mumbetsa chifukwa tipanga ma office bwanjimi tipanga ma office ku nursery ku sonko tsopano Indi funa ku bueraso kupitaliza ya chito ya pa nursery maka kusonko. Okay, I'm going to start now talking about these headline figures from our 2022 financial year and some of the, I don't know, key insights, if you like, of what I've got from just totting up all the figures and categorizing them like that. So first off, headline figures, total money in terms of donations or income that we have received through the kind of income generating projects we're running on Chisi Island in 2022 is 18,038 euros. Total money out in all of our expenditures last year was 22,264 euros. So that means we overspent by just over 4,000 euros, but we started 2022 with 10,000 euros in the bank as a running balance. So now we have a running balance on the 1st of January 2023 of 6,110 euros. So we're in the black, but we're not going to be able to do all we have done in last year without more donations. I'm really working hard on trying to get Ulemu.com established not only as a community-based organisation, which it is now formally. It's a registered community-based organisation with the Zomba District Council, which is like the local authority. It's like a county council in Malawi. We're working on getting NGO registration in Malawi as well as charity registration here in Ireland. All of the paperwork is done. Now just looking to establish a board of trustees in both Ireland and Malawi to get that so that we can get more institutional funding. But in the meantime, over the last 2.5 years, it is your 20s and 50s and 100 euros that we've received through social media and through PayPal and Revolut that has kept us going, that has done everything that you can read about in this financial report and everything that I'm explaining here. And especially thank you so much to the 21 monthly donors we're now up to. And these monthly donors, they provide just a bit of assurance that, okay, well, we're going to have those few hundred euros for next month anyway, regardless of whatever happens. And I'm really, really grateful to you. And I'm really, really grateful to an awful lot of people, both in Ireland, Indima Antu mu Malawi. Maka Mbanja ya Kahal O'Connor, Indi Mbanja Onse ya O'Connors ku Sligo. Kuna tandiza ndipo magali moto ma container ma ndalama indi kudongo solo ma meeting ku sukulu ku ana Irish ku foto koza bwanji ti pitaliza nchito ku Malawi. Okay, right, into the figures then. Into the 10 main or the 12 main cost categories that I've broken all of your expenditures down into. The biggest one was education, not surprisingly. That's a big focus of what we're doing. That's between school and an envelope spending, school fees, support for school fees, setting up the nursery and school meals. So that was 3,630 euros. That has supported hundreds of kids with school meals and just under 100 with school fee support, especially for secondary school kids. That was a big one. Then number 2 in the cost categories was the office, costs of just setting up the office. 6% of the total money that we spent, that 22,000 euros, went towards wages for people on the island, for either construction work that they're doing or for the women the mothers of the kids that go to our nursery and the mothers of the kids in the village, for helping with the Airbnb guests, for example, for cooking for them, for carrying water, for cleaning, and for delivering the school meals food to the other side of the island. Remember, we're in the village, or I'm based in the village, farthest from the school and farthest from the island's only clinic. So I think that's important to say, that 6% of the total money went directly into the hands of people living on the island as wages. I mentioned Airbnb there. Of all of the things that we have been working on, most of this, because it's charity work, it's to address humanitarian needs, to save lives, to alleviate suffering. It's not done with a money-making objective, or it's not a priority. But economic sustainability over the long term through these community-based projects that we're trying to do is a prerequisite for the eventual long-term success. So Airbnb and hosting tourists, that is the one thing already in the first year that we have done that has generated a profit. And on that, it was humble enough. 17 overnight Airbnb guests in the year 2022. We had about a dozen more day trippers, especially coming for the boat races. We got from that €432 of the overnight Airbnb guests. And we spent in hosting them €399. So it was only a profit of €33. But it's the one thing that can work with and that's already giving a profit. And also all of the money that we spent on hosting them, the vast majority of that went to people living on the island to provide the services, the cooking, the cleaning, the guiding while they were on the island. So that's one thing that has promised. Construction was another big cost category. Tourism, the boat race competitions, recreation, bringing people on outings, the nursery volunteers, for example, or the chiefs, to outings, to projects on the mainland. Transport was another big cost, nearly 10% of the total budget. Not surprising. I think a lot of these big costs in terms of office setup, construction, transport, they were in the setting up phase that was a big part of last year. I'm hoping they will go down over the next year, and then we can focus especially on the healthcare and on the education and nutrition and agriculture. Just going to give you an example, another taster of what you'll see if you go into the breakdown here. So here's the overall cost categories. And then here is the total for healthcare, which is broken down, for example, on medicines. Now, healthcare, we only spent, if you like, 7% of the total money on healthcare. That's €1,656. However, if you look at that here in the breakdown, you see there's no overheads here. Of the 1,600 total that was spent on healthcare, 1,563 went straight to the medicines. Of those, 333 went towards the Chisi Island Government Clinic. These were mainly antibiotics to address supply chain breaks. They went to 106 people, so that works out at an average cost per patient of €3.10. So if you give €3.10, that's the example of where it would go. It's really direct. And then of the medicines that were for dermatology cases, 387 were spent on skin medications, and they helped 76 people. And then the biggest single cost of medicines was for malaria, just over €800. That's already treated more than approximately 200 people, mostly kids. That works out at €4.20. But actually we also have a big stock of medicine still there. So that cost per malaria case will go down a bit. What else do I want to say? If I haven't said thank you in person with your name, but you've done something to help, whether it's given money or helped, makapena ku ngati munatandiza pachilumba cha Chisi, ziko mugwambiri kutandiza indi papani kuti indi na aiwala dzina lanu tsopano kapena. I guess I want to say, I've mentioned overheads there. We're trying to do this at the lowest possible cost to have the highest possible impact for the communities on the ground. That's a real key point that I want to get across on this. I don't take a salary. None of the money here that I'm reporting on, and you can look through the more than 1,000 rows of this Excel document that lists every single expense that we have put your money down to buying glue for 40 cents in the shop in the next village on the island. It's all here, and none of it is going in salary to me. I've been working off my savings now, which are dwindling and getting very smaller. But I'm not looking for charity except for money for this charity here. And I hope with institutional funding maybe I can get some money that I could call a salary for myself. But that's down the line. But the point then is to get this level of accounting on your donations the day after the financial year that's just concluded it could cost 22,000 euros for the accountancy service to get this level of detail. All of that is catered for by your donation to lemu.com. So, and I've worked for the big humanitarian agencies, the big international agencies. The overheads are significant, you know. Now, for it to be a big organization, you have to have overheads. I understand that, okay, as well. And we're a very small operation for the moment. But I hope with your continued support, ulemu.com will grow in 2023. And yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up and wish you all a very happy new year. I hope it will involve dreams coming true, or at least getting on the way to coming through in the future. I hope it's full of happiness and good fortune, and I hope you can get through the challenges that it might pose as well. And I hope that for all of you donors and people watching in Ireland, indi kukulipira kuti zaga 2023 ku antu ya chilumba cha Chisi kuti tidza pitaliza manchito indi dilikira kuyambaso kupitaliza ya nchito pa chilumba cha Chisi ndipo antu onse uku maka mfumu chuka indi mfumu sonko indi bwana mbiza indi mamai chekeni kusukulu indi maka antu ku mudzi sonko indi chienda indi muluma indi maka ma azibambo alfi indi kondwani indi innocent jim indi paulo indi mac kutandizo ndipo ma accounts nchito zambiri bwino mac mwezi December ku warenge ma ndalama onse ndi tawina ndi eznat ndi azimai onse ku ana ku sonko ndi azimai onse kuna tandizo kuna tandiza kutandiza kutenga ma lendo ndi ma antu ya village bank onse ndi Debra ku punzitsi ku nursery ndi dilikira ndi bweraso ku Malawi January 11 pambuyo ziku 10 ina ndi tipitaliza ya nchito bwino ku 2023 ku punzitsi bwino wa ana bwanji kuti patsogolo ana kusonko ndi ana onse ku chilumba cha Chisi angate kulemba mabuku onse ku bedroom anga litiendinali mwana ku Ireland. Okay, tionana pambuyo. Sikula bwino. Endi chaka tsopano wa bwino antu onse.